People are bullying me online for having been in special ed, but not actually being special ed. Porque sí, yo fui de educación especial por un año. I was in special ed for a year because I wasn't bilingual in Puerto Rico. My wife used to bully me by herself because she's the only one that truly knew the ins and outs. And now everyone has taken it upon themselves to say, oh, we already knew that. You didn't have to tell us. I'm getting pictures of short buses in my DMs, okay? This is how savage people are online. But something else happened. Algo además de eso pasó. I was reminded of all the students that I was in school with. ¿Tú me entiendes? That year that I took, those people didn't just die. Los de educación especial no se mueren cuando se acaba la escuela. They go out into the world. And I started looking all of them up on Facebook, and come to find out that out of the 15 students that were in this, éramos 15 en ese salón, ¿verdad? I am the only one that is not a parent. Make it make sense. Why? Because porque cómo voy a ser yo el único que soy irregular, lo único que yo no era bilingüe. I was the only one that was normal. I just wasn't bilingual. How are they parents? And it makes sense. They don't think about these things. And if you're asking yourself, Junior, are you saying that special education people shouldn't be allowed to have kids? Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe I think that it shouldn't be a special education person that's my age and has 3 kids. That's me. I'm saying that, yes, I don't think that makes sense. Yo no creo que eso, to be a parent is such a thing. ¿Tú me entiendes? Y si tú tienes problemas, if you can't take care of yourself, why is it allowed for you to make 3 other yous? And no, I'm not saying that que los niños también son educación especial. I don't know these kids, okay? But by the looks of it, sí lo son. I'm just saying that they look like their dad or their mother. Okay, I saw one, the worst that I saw is one guy, he has 3 kids, he works at a gas station in Puerto Rico. The other one is a mother, she lives in Kissimmee, Florida right now, and she has 2 kids. Do they look happy? I don't fucking know. Anyone can fake the funk for a picture, tú me entiendes, pero como que algo no anda bien. And then I went even deeper porque my special education mind started to the light bulb started hitting. There was 1, there was 2, there might have been a strobe light in there. I thought I was having a seizure, pero me dio como que puñeta. Esto es lo que quiere el gobierno. El gobierno lo que quiere son esclavos. The government, all they want is slaves. Lo que quieren es gente que no piensan, que siguen teniendo hijos, que siguen trabajando los trabajos que nadie quiere trabajar. Y así es también. Siguen pagando los impuestos. You make the rich richer, you're paying your taxes, and you shut the fuck up because you don't even know how to talk. ¿Tú me estás entendiendo? It started to worry me. I started going down conspiracy theories in my own mind. Yo, puñeta, me estoy volviendo loco. Am I going crazy or am I figuring shit out? Because normally, when you are figuring shit out, you feel crazy. Tú te sientes como que te estás volviendo loco. As soon as you think that you're going crazy, you might be right. Or you might see beyond the matrix. You're reading. Ahora estoy yo como que leyendo the green letters in the matrix. Y todos me están diciendo that this is not a mistake. This is how it was meant to be. Everyone is meant to be special education. Ellos lo que quieren son gente de educación especial para no educarte a ti especialmente. ¿Tú me estás entendiendo? They only want you to be able to sign your name and follow instructions. Punch in a clock, punch out, go home, buy KFC on the way, eat it with your fat fucking family, y que te mueras de un heart disease by the age of 65 so that you don't make it to 67 and start charging and start getting your social security check. That is the design. That's perfect for them. That works out perfectly for them. So now I'm thinking, maybe I was meant to be in that. Si yo no hubiese estado en educación, if I never would have went to that special education class for a year, I never would have figured this out. I never would have figured out que yo tengo que cambiar mi vida. I had to change my life. I got to change something. I got to figure it out. I got to make more of me's than there is them. Because if there's more them than there's me's, no vamos para ningún lado. We're not going to go anywhere. We're all going to stay specially educated. ¿Tú me entiendes? Indoctrinated. Eso es lo que nos va a pasar. So if you're not a special education person, please have kids. And if you're a special education, please, stop or have help or I don't know. There is no soft way to put this. It seems wrong. I'm saying it and I feel like, cabrón, no digas eso. But at the same time, no one else is saying it. No one else is saying it. No one else is saying la verdad de la vida, de que hay mucha gente de educación especial teniendo hijos que son más especiales que ellos. Y así vamos a estar jodidos. Vamos a estar jodidos. We're going to depend on machines. Because the machines will be smarter than the humans that are around. Porque todos los humans que are around son special. ¿Tú me estás entendiendo? Es un problema. I pooped myself last night while driving down Interstate 287, and yes, it's embarrassing, but it can happen to you. You see, I missed the exit for Route 23, and unbeknownst to me, the next exit was 5 miles away, and it's 5 real miles. It's not 5 fake miles that you think, it's a straight shoot. No, while you're going down 287 north to southbound, there's a lot of curves, and you notice that you look either which way. You're either looking at montaña, mountains, rocks, cliffs, or you're looking at una intemperie. You're on a bridge, and there's like 250 feet down, okay? There's nothing to exit to. No hay tres carajos. So I understood. I'm looking last night, yo puñeta, me voy a cagar encima. And that was my last. I didn't know that was my last chance. The exit was a high number. You say exit 20, 25. I'm like, the next exit is right there. No, it wasn't, okay? 5 miles, yo me cagué encima. I was like, I can't take this. I'm either going to die, my insides are going to internally explode, y toda la mierda se me va a regar por dentro. O me cago aquí mismo en los pantalones, and I do the best job that I can so it doesn't get on the seats. Y efectivamente, me cagué encima, yo lo admito, like a man. I'm telling you right now, I shit myself, okay? I shit myself, and I did it the right way. Why? I held it in. I used every single ass muscle that I can use to maneuver that shit so it wouldn't go all over the place. Pa' que se quedara ahí mismo, puñeta. I got out of the highway as soon as I could. And to make it back, by the way, it was a 7-minute drive for those 5 minutes. For those 5 miles. It took me 7 minutes to drive the 5 miles because the highway was also filled with cops. So I couldn't just pull over to the fucking road y cagarme allí mismo because a cop would have Imagine getting pulled over. Imagine you taking a shit on the side of the highway at like 2 o'clock in the morning, que un guardia se te pare, te va a llevar arrestado. Imagine me getting arrested with my pants full of shit, or que el guardia me flashes the light and I'm just there taking a shit. I don't need that embarrassment. Why am I saying this? Because I want to prevent it from happening to you. I'm just here to help you out, okay? So if you're going down 287, make sure that you don't have your last drink at the place wasn't an espresso martini and you decided to add Baileys because it was a little too bitter. That's what I did. I made a mistake, okay? I'll admit it. I made a mistake. That mistake cost me underwears and socks because I stopped at a Wawa and I went into the bathroom. No one noticed. Yo me paré el Wawa. I went in. I took my underwear off. Why did I have to take my underwear off and my socks? Because there was no toilet paper. Normally, when you go to a gas station, there is not going to be any toilet paper, okay? So you got to come prepared. Come with good socks. Hanes, the best. Nice and smooth. Add some water. Clean it off. Go back in again. Make sure you lock the door. I'm telling you the process that I had to follow. I made it out, okay? I got out. I bought myself a Wawa coffee just to add insult to injury, and I took the drive back. I took the U-turn, and another 7 minutes later, I was back to Route 23 and I could take my exit, okay? So, if you're going down Interstate 287, either don't have a stomach ache or wear Depends. That's all I'm saying. There's some highways that require you que tú tienes que tener. I might have to buy some Depends and just keep them in the car just in case. You never know. You never know. The new season of Republicans on the Spectrum Love on the Spectrum has the same problem that all the other seasons of the show had. It's that these people are too well off. They have too much help. I want to see a bare bones Love on the Spectrum. Si tú hubiese cogido a mi tía, if you would have taken my aunt and you would have found love for her, then I would have been impressed. But you got these people going on speed dates. You have them setting up brilliant dates that even a mind like mine would never imagine. You understand? Like this motherfucker, he takes this girl to see ducks and he knows all the information on ducks. He knows when we date, normal motherfuckers date, we gotta figure shit out on the spot. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. 9 times out of 10, when a man lies to a woman, it's just to fill up the void. No queremos mentirte, pero no sabemos qué carajo más decir. We don't have a lot of information. We know how to drive good. we work, we make money, we sweat, we lift weights. That's what we do. So especially at an early age, you don't know shit. So todo lo que tú estás mintiendo, you're just doing it to fill up time. And these motherfuckers got so much information. The dates are planned out. Mi tía, my aunt, bro, she used to be falling in love with every single guy that she saw on a soap opera. She had this saying, manifestándose con el poder de Jesucristo. You're manifesting yourself with the power of Jesus Christ. When they were making love in the telenovelas. And, and she applauded, and I know that she was getting all hot and heavy inside. I know that now. I didn't think about it then. I just thought that my aunt was happy to see people in love. Now I know what it actually was. She would have been amazing on the show because she would have told motherfuckers, you know, the straight up, the real. Esta gente, they're too rehearsed, well too prepared. I don't want it. When we watch reality TV, cuando nosotros vemos televisión que se supone que sea basado en la vida real, we do it because there is some semblance of reality to it, a semblance of rawness. This doesn't have that. Oh my God, I just gave her a kiss. Oh, I don't know how I feel. And it's like, that's real. That last moment of the show, of the season, whatever the fuck, of Love on the Spectrum is real. The rest of it, too montagey, too made up, too, you sabe. It's like, no, I want the rawness. I want to see mistakes. How are these people on the spectrum and they don't make a mistake ever? They make mistakes talking, no, but burn a house down or something. Mira, había uno que estaba, there was a spectrum person that I was raised around a lot of spectrum people. And this motherfucker burned his house down. Why? He was being raised by his uncle. His uncle told him to make his own coffee. Pop, quemó. The next thing you know, wooden house burned down. Did him a favor. The insurance, they paid for a cement house. So they were actually able to rebuild better. But the point is, where are the burning houses on Love on the Spectrum? Where are the mistakes? Let them dress how they would dress. How is it all these people are combined? Spectrum people, they see colors different, Se visten a lo loco, al garete. I want to see a flower shirt with some striped pants or something. They got the one guy that is crazy with the shirts. El único que es demócrata. The only Democrat, he's always talking crazy fucking shit and he speaks way too fast. I love him. But this is the truth. That's how he is. He be wearing some wild ass Hawaiian or Samoan fucking shirts. Okay, they put him there, for an unbalanced balance. One of him is enough for the 7 other Republicans. Ta cabrón. So yeah, I'm falling out of love with the spectrum. That's what's happening. I'm falling out of love with the fucking spectrum because you're not showing me real spectrum love, puñeta. When I go back home and I see spectrum motherfuckers, they're not living this type of lifestyle. They don't even live by themselves. They can't. They don't have these resources. So show me the people without resources. Give me Love on the Spectrum ghetto style. Love on the Spectrum non-republic. Love on the Spectrum below the poverty line or something like that, If you're ever eating and I say que te caiga como te caigo yo, let that food affect you how I affect you. That is me asking the universe for answers. Yo le estoy pidiendo al universo que me conteste como yo te caigo. I want to see how the food affects you. I want to see if you have a stomachache after, if you throw up, if you're happy dandy. Like, si de momento te da una energía, I know that we're good. We're good vibrations. If you're eating and after you have that meal, cabrón, me cayó bien y vamos a hacer algo, and pa' aquí, pa' allá, I know that you're a good person. Now, if I say que te caiga como te caigo yo, and you stop eating or you refuse to eat the food, you're my enemy for life. Yo sé que tú eres un cabrón hijo de la gran puta de la vida. Moving on, okay? So it's important to be passive aggressive, but in a way that scares the shit out of people because a lot of people believe in the universe. They believe in astrology. Use all of that shit to your advantage. Porque mira, si hay herramientas que son de embuste, pero la gente cree que son de verdad, utilízalas, cabrón. I'm going to use anything and everything that I can in order to get to know the people that are around me, porque hay que tenerle miedo a la gente, okay? And I'm not saying que hay que tenerle miedo, you gotta be afraid of people in a mythological or metaphorical way. No, I mean for real. For real, yo estoy cansado de ver cómo la gente se matan uno a los otros de la noche a la mañana. Some people are building their resentment to you right now. Ahora mismo hay un cabrón que está encojonado contigo y tú no sabes ni por qué. You have no fucking idea why. You think that you didn't do nothing. Y la gente, they let that burn inside. Yo no, yo te lo digo rapidito. When you do something to me, and the people that used to talk to me can attest to this. Cuando tú me hiciste algo mal, yo te lo digo. And I tell you, I'm never talking to you again. Y efectivamente, I've never talked to them again. I just tell you and I move on with my life porque no hay necesidad de uno estar con esa pendeja. So, que te caiga este video como yo te caigo, canto de cabrón. Like, comment, ¿qué vas a hacer, puñeta? ¿Vas a dejar un corazoncito? ¿Qué vas a hacer, canto de cabrón? Nah, you know, I love all you guys. No, I don't. To elaborate a little on that, para elaborar un poquito sobre eso, para que entiendan de dónde viene, so you can understand where it comes from. I'm thinking a lot about my dad's death because it's about to be 2 years since he died, you know, the anniversary. And I only expected one of my actual friends to show up. One. Un cabrón yo esperaba que llegara. Un cabrón que me dijo, sí, yo voy para allá. Si tú vas a estar ahí, yo voy a estar ahí. And I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm going to be there on Sunday. Efectivamente, un domingo fue el velorio. And guess what happened? The motherfucker doesn't show up. Y cuando alguien te hace mal así, cuando someone lets you down in such a way que tú te quedas sorprendido, you ever been shocked that you've been let down? Like, I didn't expect this, but I should have. Like, you get upset with yourself. Sometimes you're like, fuck, how did I let this happen? How did I let my guard down? How did I think that a person was like me, that a person was a stand-up individual, that if I say I'm going to do something, I will definitely do it. I don't know why. I think that I want that to be how people think of me. Yo quiero que si tú crees que tú puedes depender de mí, pues yo te voy a demostrar que sí puedes depender de mí. Especialmente si yo te lo dije. If I told you that you can depend on me, I definitely want to prove it to you. I don't want to let myself down because as soon as I start telling you that I'm going to do something and I don't do it, I also lied to myself. That's the problem because if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm honest with me. If I don't trust me, I'm going to trust you. So I got to trust me and I got to tell you that I trust. As there's been times cuando yo le digo a la gente, mira, yo no voy para allá. Yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm sorry, but I'm not going. And I don't go. Don't expect me to show up. I'm not going to go back on my word neither. It goes both ways. So cuando este cabrón no aparece, yo lo pensé durante 48 horas. For 48 hours, I thought about it. And then I had made my decision that I'm never talking to this person again. But I didn't want to do it in a way where it left animosity. No quise romper la relación de una manera de que fuese como que estoy encojonado todavía. Like, I didn't want to attack it while I was angry. I wanted to sit. I wanted to reminisce in that feeling. Quise sentir todos los sentimientos posibles. I wanted to actually come up with a full, like, articulation of the feeling. Articular lo que uno siente es bien importante. It's easy to just say curse words, but when those curse words come in a very analytical way, no es lo mismo que yo diga, vete pa'l carajo, canta cabrón, que, mira, aquel momento lo único que yo deseo es que tú te fueras al carajo. It changes the vete pa'l carajo. It changes the fuck off. I don't want to tell you, oh, fuck off. No. In that moment, all I was dreaming about was you fucking the fuck off. It changes everything. It changes the structure. It changes how the person receives it. It hurts more because it's coming from a calm place. It's almost scary. Cuando una persona te dice que te vayas para el carajo de una manera tranquila, da más miedo de una persona cuando está encojonada porque tú sabes que es emoción. So, I took my time, and I think it was like 5, 6, maybe even 7 days later that I wrote this whole message and I sent it out, and I said at the end, it's not even worth you responding to this message because no matter what you say, I'm never talking to you again. No importa lo que tú tengas que decir, jamás y nunca te voy a hablar. Eso quedó claro. You had one thing that you had to do. In all of our lives, I've always been there for you. And you had to do this one thing and you didn't do it. And you said you were going to. Se acabó. So never be afraid of stop talking to people. Déjale hablar a los cabrones. En la vida hay 8 billones de personas. And there's a movie where Keanu Reeves reads this from a writer. Not Keanu Reeves didn't say this, okay? He recited it. A writer wrote this down and Keanu Reeves recited it in a beautiful way. when one person lets you down, you have to be grateful because te están enseñando quiénes son. They're showing you who they are. You have to be grateful because now you could put that person to the side and you can focus on the 7 billion other people that are in the world en vez de estar preocupándote por esa fucking persona. So, keep that in mind. A blonde-toothed woman asked me if I would still talk to my wife if we broke up. Una mujer de diente rubio me hizo saber. And a blonde-toothed woman is nothing other than a non-melanin woman that was raised in what we call nowadays a container home. Back when she was growing up, it was a trailer. So she's a non-melanin woman with blonde teeth that grew up in a trailer. And we're talking about how she got her husbands together for dinner. All right? And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I wanted my new best friend to meet my old best friend. That's normal, Junior, friends getting together. And I'm like, espérate, hold on a second. Do you guys have kids? And she's like, yeah, I have 2 kids with my new husband and he has 3 kids with his new wife. And I'm like, so you guys don't comparten niños? You guys don't share kids? She's like, no, but we're still friends. I'm like, that's a non-melanin thing. Eso es cosa de blanco. Eso no es cosa mía. She's like, really? You wouldn't do that? You wouldn't want to bring 2 families together, especially if you got along for 20 years? Yo tuve casado con ese hombre for 20 years. I was married to that man for 20 years. And I've only been married for 7 with this one, and we have 2 beautiful kids, and I think that he's still a good guy. And I'm like, then why'd you break up with him? ¿Por qué te quitaste? ¿Por qué se divorciaron? Oh no, because we had our differences. Pues that's enough for me. I'm not doing that. I don't gotta bring family. And I know all about, yo soy Latino, I know all about surprise family members. She's like, really? That's a Latin thing too? I thought it was more of my culture. I'm like, no. We leave it as a surprise. You know how non-melanin people, you guys leave in the will money, mansions, and plots of land? We leave new family members in the will. By the way, your second cousin isn't your second cousin. That's your first cousin. Or by the way, you got a new tia. She lives in New Hampshire. Or by the way, you thought I was your dad. I wasn't. I just raised you. Those are the surprises that we leave behind. That's what we as Latinos, we leave in a will. Nosotros no dejamos dinero. We don't leave fortune. We don't leave houses. We leave surprise family members. Cuando alguien se muere and you go to that will or you go to the wake, bro. You go to the wake and you're saying hi to people. How did you know el difunto? ¿Cómo tú conociste el difunto? How did you know the dead guy? Oh, he was my uncle. Espérate, what do you mean he was your uncle? Yeah, he was my uncle. He was my dad. So we're cousins? Yeah, we didn't know. Oh, shit, how you doing? ¿Cómo that? Diablo. What year were you born? Same year as you. Wait a second. Are you sure he was your uncle? He wasn't your dad? Maybe. We got to find out. Mama, acá. We got the same mother. What's going on? That's what happens in Latino wakes. I've been to non-melanin wake, totalmente diferente. So when this blonde-toothed woman asked me if I'm still going to talk to my wife, jamás y nunca. That's not a part. La cultura nuestra nos dice que si tú y yo nos dejamos como pareja, nosotros somos enemigos mortales, okay? We are enemies until death do we part from this world, okay? And I totally agree with that statement, with that sentiment. Así tiene que ser, puñeta. When you stay friends, non-melanins, when you stay friends, you're just lazy. Ustedes son vago. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to be you want to be around the same people. You don't want to be better and meet new people. No, este ya pendejo, yo lo conozco hace 30 años. That doesn't mean that they're a good person. Just because you've known someone your whole life doesn't mean that they're a good person for you or been a good influence in your life. Mándalo pa'l carajo. Make new friends. Put in the fucking effort. Salte por ahí. Go out. Talk to people. Don't be a fucking pussycat. ¿Tú me estás entendiendo? So, no, blonde-toothed people. I will not be talking to anyone that I've ever been with for the rest of my life. That said, I am reminded of when I went to my father's wake, el velorio de mi padre, y conocía tantas de sus amistades de su niñez when he was a kid, his childhood friendships, and they told me stories that I didn't believe. ¿Tú sabes lo que es eso? Que se muera alguien, that someone dies, and it's only after they die that you get a whole different vision of how they were when they were alive. Like, I didn't meet that part of that man. So if anything else happens with these videos, con estos videos, I think it's super important to let the future know about its past, saber de nosotros, saber de lo que estábamos sufriendo nosotros, to let the future know of what we were suffering now in hopes that they can right our wrongs, in hopes that they do not commit the same mistakes. So I'm doing all of this in a way, all of this artistic expression in hopes that the people that come out of me, que salgan de mí, Tú me entiendes? Because I will have people come out at me, by the way. I practice a lot, but I haven't, I haven't gone full term with it. Pero va a llegar el momento de que yo estoy seguro that we're gonna want our children to know who we were, so that hopefully they don't commit our same mistakes. And I have a fear, I have a die-hard fucking fear that I won't be around. Porque when I was 16 or 17 years old, I don't really remember, yo estaba en a mall in Guayama, Puerto Rico. And Guayama, Puerto Rico is known for witchcraft, all right? It is witchcraft town, Puerto Rico. Guayama, Puerto Rico. Le dicen la tierra de los brujos, land of the warlocks, okay? So I was in the mall in Guayama, Puerto Rico, and I'm walking down the mall with having an argument with my then little girlfriend, Ella, and we get separated, and there's this place called La Gitana, which means the gypsy, right? It was like a middle of the mall little kiosk, and an old lady there, and I'm thinking I'm gonna buy the bitch that I'm arguing with something, so maybe we could make up and maybe, something happens later. And the woman, she grabs my hand, she says, "You're gonna die at a very young age. Usted se va a morir muy joven, señorito." Y yo la mandé pa'l carajo. Mira, vete pa'l carajo, vieja cabrona. That's what I said. I was 16. I was very rebellious. I wasn't having a good day to begin with. I was trying to make it better, and this old bitch tells me that I'm gonna die, this old gypsy. So yo me encojoné and I told her to fuck off. I think I was well within my rights, but I've always had that in the back of my mind. Now, I don't know what young is in an old ass gypsy's eyes. ¿Tú me entiendes? Porque she looked like she was 175, so maybe young to her is 100. Maybe I'm gonna live to be 100, which is pretty fucking old to me. So I don't know, but I've always thought that if I don't leave enough behind, I don't leave enough stories, I don't leave enough anécdotas so that the people of my future can get to know me, maybe I'll never have the chance to tell them. Maybe I don't want to be like my dad, okay? Because that motherfucker left books with definitions and shit that I don't even understand. So I want to be understood by the people that I need to understand me, so that they are better than me. So, yeah. This holy weekend is all about sinners. Y siendo un pecador yo mismo, te puedo decir, being a sinner myself, I can tell you that this movie being released on this special weekend, on this weekend in particular, is no mistake. This Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan-led movie is a magnum opus of magnum opuses, okay? Esto es una pendejada que tú tienes que verlo para creerlo. I tell you that I went in with high expectations watching this movie. I did not know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be a horrifying movie, like true horror. I didn't know if it was going to be a love story, a timepiece movie, a movie for the culture, and it was everything that I just mentioned and all of the spots in between. There's love, there's grief, there's slavery, there's redemption, there is revenge, there is fucking vampires. There are scenes in this movie that if you take them all apart, they would be great little short stories. Everything that happens has a reason. Everything that happens is explained to a degree where you leave the movie and you are satisfied. Tú te sientes contento. There was points in the movie where I started tearing up, and no other reason that I couldn't believe that this fucking existed. Que la música y el movimiento y las actuaciones todo junto era como que una mezcla. It's like they were stirring the pot. Motherfucker was cooking. Ryan Coogler was cooking, and you could smell it a fucking mile away. Everything that this movie, it tackles so many themes. It stacks the themes up, right? In such a beautiful way that even when they're all set on fire, you will stay watching up until there's only the smoke left. If you've seen the movie, what I just did there is fucking brilliant. And if you haven't seen the movie, once you watch it, you're going to think Junior is fucking brilliant, because I am. Let's just be honest with yourself, okay? I'm brilliant. So the movie is that much more brilliant. It made me envious. It made me think, coño, if this can exist and this brings such a level of culture, this movie is reparations, okay? El cuestión de que there was one problem with the movie, and it wasn't the movie at all. It was the crowd that I watched the movie in. Yo salí del teatro. I got out of seeing this movie, and I'm like, damn, That was so fucking good. I'm gonna watch it again, right? And I'm like, I wanna see, because people were clapping and shit when the movie's over, and that rarely happens in the movie theaters that I go to in New Jersey. People in New Jersey don't have a soul, right? So you could put something beautiful in front of them and they won't give a fuck. But they saw this movie and people were clapping afterwards. So when I walked out of the theater, I was paying attention to who was in the movie theater, and I was the darkest motherfucker at the theater. And I'm like, wait a second, is this not being marketed correctly? Who the fuck is getting the ads? ¿Tú me estás entendiendo? Who's not, like, black people, where you at? This is the movie that you gotta go fucking see. This is, everyone should go see. This is better than Black Panther. Same director, same star, better fucking movie. Understand that this one breaks everything down and puts a level of fantasy, a level of creativity que tú te vas a quedar like, oh my God. How is this real? It's not real. How is this possible to make? How is this cooler than Nosferatu? Because I saw Nosferatu and I took a nap. Tú me estás entendiendo. Nosferatu is a bore fucking fest. And yes, comparison is the stealer of all joy, whatever the fuck. I saw that movie and I saw this one, and I'd rather see this one 7 fucking times, and that'll be the exact same length as Nosferatu, because that movie's way too fucking long for no good reason. It brings nothing new to the table, and everything in Sinners is new except vampires. And vampires is just used as a vehicle of expression for you to understand who the sinners are, or who the sinners can be, because we all are them, ¿verdad? Si Dios, Jesucristo murió por nuestros pecados, pues todos somos pecadores, lo cual significa que todos deberíamos pecar porque ya se murió. No, this is another conversation for another time. The point is, be a sinner this weekend and go watch the movie.